The devil exists. God exists. And for us as people, our very destiny hinges upon which one we elect to follow.
Welcome into the Horrible Film School. Take a seat. Rip open those trapper keepers. I am Chris, and I'm here with my homeboy, Mr. Ryan Hootie.
What's up, fellas? Excited to talk about the real estate market today with this film.
And the Ghostbuster himself, Mr. Nasty, my brother Joey.
I'm going to tell you guys what, this review is coming at the wrong time, man. Diablo 4 just came out, and that's all I can do right now.
Focus, Joey, focus.
Mommy Lilith got the thickness.
Today's assignment, 2013's The Conjuring. The lesson, evil loves innocence. If that tagline doesn't tell you enough, Ryan Hootie will.
Yep, as you just heard, I am the host for today's show. So let's get it going.
Can I go ahead and just say how good of a segue that was?
That was pretty tight, right?
Does that make it a bad segue, the fact that I said how good of a segue it was?
If I acknowledged it, it would have made it bad.
All right, as always, let's start off with some fan reviews. Our Busy 129 from October 2013, titled "The Conjuring ... Really? I waited several months for this to come out on DVD. Talked to several people who have seen it and read several reviews stating scariest movie of 2013. Really? I spent $14 on the DVD. The review said you won't be able to sleep. I tried my best to stay awake. My girlfriend and I got some pizza, all geared up for an awesome night together. She was asleep before I was. As bad as the later Paranormal Activities movies were, they kept my interest more than this film. Highly, highly disappointed. Money right down my drain. 1 out of 10 stars.
Maybe it was all the greasy ass fucking pizza you ate.
Wonder what kind of pizza
that put you to sleep, bro. Yeah. I feel like this movie, the play definitely wasn't waiting months before it came out on DVD. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but the marketing for this movie, like all the trailers and all that, it had so many of the scares in the movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
This was definitely a see it in theaters movie.
All three of us watched this together in theaters, I believe. From Rug Mat 6 from February 2022. A scary, awesome time in this haunted house adventure. My goodness. It's just an amazing movie. Not the best horror movie of the 2010s, but definitely a masterpiece. You don't need to have anybody die to make a horror movie. And that certainly doesn't have to be the case with good horror movies. But this is just frightening, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's right up there with Sinister and Evil Dead 2, only much less violent than either. 10 out of 10 stars.
Was that a reference to Evil Dead Part 2 or Evil Dead like TOO?
Evil Dead Part 2, sorry.
Part 2?
So was he saying
That's
the Evil
weird.
Dead, the 2013 remake, was the best horror movie of 2013?
There's no doubt about that.
Because I'm looking here at a list of horror movies from 2013, and it's kind of bare.
He said, not the best horror movie of the 2010s. That's the whole decade.
2010's the whole fucking decade?
Whole
It was in the
decade.
conversation he's saying.
He does know the Green Inferno came out in 2013, right?
What the fuck? Yeah. I think
We
all
saw
know
that on my birthday.
Next.
Uh,
You're talking about Green Room. That's not Green,
Green Room.
Inferno.
No, I'm talking about Green
Sorry.
Inferno.
He's talking about that Eli Roth joint.
I like the fact that he said it's not the best horror movie, but then he says it's a masterpiece.
It's a fucking
So
masterpiece.
I'm really confused.
That's one of those words that gets overused when people discuss almost anything anymore. But if something's going to have that title, it has to be in consideration for the best of its kind, right?
Yeah, it's very few masterpieces.
It's one of them $10 words.
Oh, it
Damn
is.
right. I mean, you can maybe say this is James Wan's masterpiece. That relegates it to like a list separate from every movie ever made. But I digress.
Was this his third movie?
Third or fourth?
There was Saw, Dead Silence, in this?
There was a
Death
death
Sentence.
sentence in there too.
So good.
I think this was 4th.
We just brought the man up. The director is none other than James Wan, who did Saw, Death Sentence, and Insidious, and created the entire Conjuring universe.
Insidious was right before this. It started first.
Ooh, so me, James Wan. I also made a Furious 7.
He's from Australia, so I tried.
Yeah, he's from Australia. I never
Good
knew.
day, mate. It's me, James Wan. James Wanaroo. He made Furious 7.
You got fucking paid, dog.
That's considered like the best Fast and Furious movie by a lot of people.
But he has style. You cannot deny that.
So I have a little factoid on Mr. James Wan. He is the second director in history to have 2 films that were not a part of the same franchise both reach $1 billion at the box office. With Aquaman.
Can I guess? God damn it! I was gonna guess, motherfucker.
Sorry.
All right,
I have something for you to guess, though.
It's
All right,
Aquaman. What's the second one?
Aquaman and Fast and Furious 7.
Fast 7, yeah.
Furious
How did
7.
Aquaman make $1 billion?
It was actually good, wasn't it?
It was fine, but Momoa has like global appeal. You gotta think about
It's got
that.
the lady who shit on Johnny Depp's bed in it, so I don't know.
She's hot in her defense, but
You know she's like
If that's a defense.
because he's directing the sequel.
yeah,
that,
yes.
that's supposed to be coming out soon. You know he also co-wrote Megan.
Oh yeah, I think he's produced a lot of stuff in the last 5 or 6 years. It hasn't been great, but he's kind of become like that. You slap his name on it, it's gonna sell some tickets. So
Like I've definitely fallen out of love with superhero movies, so I haven't seen the Aquaman movies. I was looking at the IMDb page and I noticed that Patrick Wilson was in both movies.
yeah, he's like one of
So I
the.
was like, all right, this is fucking why. This dude he's in love with Patrick Wilson.
I like Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, he's great.
We forgot to
these
mention
movies.
a recent film Mr. Wan put out into the
Oh,
world.
God, please,
A
Jesus.
little
don't
movie
talk
called
about it.
Malignant, which was
God.
fucking incredible.
Oh, God,
These
Jesus.
fucking ass clown
It's
pieces of
actually,
shit
no.
don't
It's
know
all
how to
right.
appreciate anything. They try something new. They get
I
their
don't.
little brain gets
No,
all
no, no,
scrambled
no.
up, and
I
they get
love
confused,
new
and they don't
shit.
like it.
I love new shit. It's actually, it's a good movie, but I feel like it's the same thing as with this movie. I don't think I enjoy James Wan's style.
It's too clean, too pretty, too slick. Maybe
Maybe.
that's why it kind of feeds into the Fast 7 like aesthetic, you know.
I'll have to rewatch Malignant.
He uses a lot of tropes too.
Well, I feel like he's all about paying homage to those that came before him, and tropes are exactly that nowadays.
You take somebody like Jordan Peele, who can take tropes and use them in such a way that you don't really see the trope, where James Wan is like, this is what you know and love
I
here.
feel like especially them being a foreign filmmaker coming from Australia, like when they come to America and they're doing these tropes, it's homage to American movies.
Well, Jordan Peele and James Wan are going for 2 totally different things when they make horror movies. Like, James Wan wants some scary shit. Jordan Peele, he wants to make a dark horror comedy.
Back to my little factoid here. I said he was the second director to do that. Who was the first?
$2 billion entries in 2 different franchises.
2 different franchises.
Well, no, not the
James
franchise
Cameron.
part. The franchise part's just to James Wan.
James Cameron.
James Cameron is correct.
Oh,
He
Jimmy's
named
done it
2
3
movies.
times.
Terminator and Avatar.
It's Titanic.
Chris?
Oh, fuck. Is that a
Titanic and
franchise?
Avatar.
That's not a fucking franchise.
I just
What
said,
movie?
He said
I just
not a
said it's not a
franchise.
franchise. It's not a franchise.
Oh, okay.
That
Sorry.
was
Yeah.
just a James Wan.
He's got 3 of the top 4 all time.
That dude is, like, really cool, too. Like, his whole, like, deep-sea dive shit he does.
Yeah, he said that if he never got back into making movies, he would just be diving pretty much until he dies. It's like his passion.
That was a big thing with Paul Walker, too. It wasn't really, like, diving and shit, but he was, like, on boats and stuff a lot.
Yeah, I think he had like a degree in marine biology or something like that. He was really into like animal wildlife of the
Yeah, it's
ocean.
pretty neat.
He was really into the blue, eh?
Where's all Thomas
Wow.
Jane when you need it?
He would have been in the sequel. Guaranteed. If I see you again,
Scott.
oh.
The writers of The Conjuring are Chad and Carrie Hayes, who also wrote Whiteout and the classic House of Wax. Before we hop into the behind the scenes of The Conjuring, I have a lot here. 8 generations of families lived and died in the house before the Perrins moved in. Andrea Perrin suggested that some of the spirits from the families were never left. Deaths included 2 documented suicides, a poisoning, a rape, a murder of an 11-year-old girl, 2 drownings, 4 men who froze to death. Most of the deaths occurred within the Arnold family, from which Bethesda Sherman was descended. This was never
What's
given.
the fucking name again?
Bethesda?
No, her name ain't fucking Bethesda.
Bethesda?
Bethesda made fucking Skyrim and Fallout.
What the fuck's your name?
confused. Are we talking about Bathsheba?
Bathsheba! You fucking idiot.
Bethesda. Who's over here trying to sell some shit to Microsoft?
Oh, shit. He's trying to put some microtransactions into fucking
shit.
Conjuring
Game
series.
Studio.
What is her name? Sorry. What is her name?
We got to put microtransactions into the podcast. For 10 cents, you can listen to
Bathsheba,
who repeats that line again.
either Bathsheba or Bathsheba.
I heard Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
Yeah, it's one of those fucking names.
Some wild ass fucking name. It sounds like a Quentin Tarantino character from one of his fucking movies.
Gertrude Beatrix type shit there.
From Bathsheba. God, I can't fucking say that now.
Don't forget about Jetson or
Bathsheba.
Judson or whatever the fuck that one guy's name is.
Bathsheba.
Okay, the note on that was in the state of Rhode Island, and why this is a real estate podcast. In the state of Rhode Island, it is not required to disclose previous criminal and violent histories of any real estate properties before they are sold. That's wild.
Is that something you should have to do?
I think if that many people died in one house, maybe you should tell some fucking body.
Does it change the value of the property, I guess is my question.
Yes!
Oh, God, imagine me having to sell my bed with all the ravioli stains and fucking...
Yeah, like, send me that list of everything you did in this bed before you resell it to me.
There's no way before Amityville became Amityville that it didn't lose value because of what happened.
Oh, no. Those houses go up in value.
Now they would probably, yeah.
Now
they
oh my
would.
God, now they would. Holy shit.
But directly after the murders, you think that
Oh,
house
yeah,
went-
directly after murder, fuck no.
Oh,
Before it
murder.
was like, now in the age of the internet, that's flipped. Like, if somebody was to be murdered in a house nowadays, some kook would come out here and pay
Oh,
a
hell,
shit ton of money
dude,
for
you
that.
flip that into an Airbnb, you can make a fucking killing.
Next note that I have. When the movie was shown in the Philippines, some cinemas had to hire Catholic priests to bless the viewers before showing it. This was due to some viewers having reported a negative presence after watching the film. The priests also provided spiritual and psychological help to the viewers after the film ended. Last note that I have here, just to kind of tie it to where we're from, North Carolina, the production initially scouted a number of farmhouses to shoot in the Cape Fear region of southeastern North Carolina until they found the house featured in this movie. It is located, exact location, on the Black River in Pender County. They only filmed the exterior of the home. All interior shots were filmed at a Set Screen Gym Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think the scene where Lorraine and Ed, they meet Carolyn, that was actually shot out in front of the student center at UNC Wilmington. Pretty cool.
I got one thing here I think is pretty interesting, probably not something I think we'll encounter for quite a while. This film contains no sex or nudity, little profanity, mostly bloodless violence, and brief depictions of alcohol, and no smoking, yet it received an R rating, solely due to its scare factor alone. That's impressive.
Yeah, just like you said, no sex, no nudity, no real gore, no R-rated worthy language. I think it's just a big like marketing thing.
I was about to say, it sounds cooked.
That sounds like they may have like greased some palms to get that bumped up.
I actually heard the inverse. They wanted their PG-13, but it got pushed to the R.
Well, you say that, but there's one movie where the R rating does not fucking matter, and it will not affect how a movie does on its opening weekend, and that is horror movies.
Yeah, agreed.
It actually adds to it in pretty much every sense. And with that said, the movie brought in $40 million on opening weekend, which is like fucking huge.
Yeah, I remember catching open weekend. It was a packed house.
And I think it's like that number's probably changed, but I think it's one of the 3 R-rated movies to ever do that, to ever break 40 million.
I think this and It Chapter 1 were like the 2 big ones of the last 10 years to pull down Crazy Bank rated R.
One of the Paranormal Activity movies did it.
Oh, yes.
And I think Hannibal did it as well. Well, I just got one more note to throw out here. I thought it was actually a pretty cool thing. They found the house, like Hootie said, in Pender County in North Carolina. Come on to raise up. The interior sequences in Wilmington. However, couldn't find a tree spooky enough to actually film around. So they actually built the tree for the movie. The hanging tree that we see in front
The
of
tree is fucking sick. I like the tree.
Yeah, 50 foot tall.
So is it like hollow? Like they built a husk of a tree?
It probably had some skeletal frame or whatever, but it more than likely it's probably like what do they use, like styrofoam, some shit like that.
It looked
cut out of styrofoam.
It looked badass. It's definitely like the image that comes to mind when I think of this movie.
Oh, it's on the movie poster. It's on the box. So
they got their money's worth out of it.
Definitely cool. I think that's why we see the fucking hanging woman is CG, because it couldn't support the weight of a fucking woman.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. So here's the real question: is it as cool as the Wicker Man?
Ooh,
the actual Wicker Man itself?
The Wicker Man,
the one they built?
Yes.
Not at all. Fuck no.
God, that Wicker Man was fucking impressive, dude.
The Wicker Man is that. Goddamn, I wish they had one standing.
Isn't it crazy how like it's just a bunch of fucking wood, really tall, shaped like a man, and it's just like awe-inspiring. It's crazy.
It's so funny because like throughout the movie, we see. Goddamn, I'm talking about Wicker Man again. Throughout the movie, we're seeing people work and prepare the Wicker Man throughout the movie. I don't think we even talked about that.
Oh, I mean
Wicker
like the
Man
individual
review.
pieces?
They're literally like gathering the pieces and shit for the Wicker Man throughout the movie. All right, to the credit of the Wicker Man Nick Cage one, they do that part a little bit better.
They make a better version of it?
Well, the whole gathering of the materials to make the Wicker Man, like the effigy, they do that pretty well.
Okay, fellas, we're talking about the.
All right, back to
this fucking tree though.
Fucking pile of trash.
And with that, let's hop in, fellas.
All night long, just like that.
Does he come in threes?
Yeah?
Stops at dawn?
Uh-huh.
Well, sometimes it's meant as an insult to the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The film begins with the Warrens investigating the Annabelle doll in 1968 and learning that a couple of nurses allowed a demented spirit to possess the doll. I thought we were done with this damn doll, fellas.
Truth be told, when this movie first came out, and I left the theater not very enthusiastic about the movie for whatever reason, I, however, was very, very enthusiastic about what would inevitably be an Annabelle movie. Because the doll shit, I like the doll shit. It's, in my opinion, super creepy, but creepy in the sense of child's play, not really creepy in the sense of Annabelle.
Somebody moving their arms.
Puppet Master, Dolly Dearest, isn't that one of them?
Master. Oh my God, Dolly Dearest, yeah.
I loved those when I was younger. I mean, if you can go back and listen to our Annabelle episode, I think you can see none of us are really fans of that movie.
I think I had kind of a similar note here. She is way more effective as a B plot.
One of the nurses actually, like, once she's haunting them, she throws Annabelle's ass in the trash, pretty much right where she belongs.
Is this the exact same scene they used in the Annabelle?
They didn't even allude to the nurses until I think it was either the end of the movie or a mid-credit scene.
We have just met the snake oil salesmen that are the Warrens. Sorry, I do not like these people, so let's get back into it. Ed Warren is played by Patrick Wilson, who was in Hard Candy, The Founder, and Watchmen.
All three fantastic movies. You left out Bone Tomahawk. Gotta cover that shit sometime. It's so fucking good.
It's on, like, every platform. Amazon, HBO, like, it's all over the
I mean,
place.
it's him and Kurt Russell, man. I mean, it's it's going to be good.
That's true.
But as you said, dude's in all these Conjuring movies. He's going to be reprising his role. Once again, spoiler alert, he doesn't die in this movie.
Eddie.
In The Conjuring Last Rites in 2024.
Fuck.
You know he's slated to direct that as well.
Good for him. I like Patrick Wilson.
Seems like a good dude.
He's definitely got like a movie star face and like a charm about him that I just always appreciated. I think the first time I saw him was in Hard Candy, where he's like a child molester. So
Yeah.
the fact that he got past that is kudos to him.
He actually bought a horse that was in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring in 2001 and named that horse Frodo.
That's fucking dope.
And his wife, Lorraine Warren, how do you say her last name?
Farmiga.
Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga, who was in The Bates Motel and The Departed.
Dude, that movie came out in 2006, man.
I know. I rewatched it last year, and I was like, fuck, this is 16 years old. Jesus.
So fucking good. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a banger, and she's banging in it, dude. Love this lady.
Yeah, she is a gorgeous woman, super talented. She was also an orphan, so she's got some horror movie chops, as well as Godzilla, King of the Monsters. As much as I love Godzilla, I still ain't watched that shit yet. I kind of refuse to, but I mean, it's kind of cool she's in that.
I read a note that she's like on the cusp of Scream Queen, which I don't get behind.
I wouldn't go that far.
She's been in some of these type movies that
I don't think she's vulnerable enough for that, because she's never really like the one being chased. She's like the mom most of the time. But yeah, in Bates Motel, she definitely was the only reason I finished that series. So.
Fucking smoker, bro. God. Smoke show, man. God damn, she is fine.
She might have me dressing like Norman Bates. You never know.
I'll be wearing her face too, just like Norman.
Oh yeah.
about that. What?
Oh yeah.
What a time.
Spoiler alert for Psycho from 1960.
I've never seen it.
What the fuck? This podcast is over. Are you serious?
Nah, it's in black and white, right?
Oh,
if it ain't in color,
That is a pretty good defense, Chris. That's a pretty good defense, man. It's in black and white.
Sorry, bitch. I'm not reading fucking subtitles and shit like this is Nosferatu.
It invented slashers, dog.
I don't care.
It invented the
The
horror.
person who invented
God,
peanut butter, when peanut butter first came out, it tasted like shit.
Black man.
Now it's
George Washington Carver.
no, just watch the Carver. Like
He invented the peanut.
He took peanuts and turned the shit into like a 1,000 things except for peanut butter. The one thing it's actually good for.
He turned it into electricity, but Joey said he didn't make fucking peanut butter though.
Yeah, man, my house ain't run off peanut butter, bitch, or a bunch of peanuts. But guess
so
what?
good.
My fucking sandwich is.
God, it's so good. Put it
No
out.
Psycho. God, that offends me, man.
Thank you, Mr. Peanut. Isn't the guy with the monocle? He's the one that came up with the peanut butter.
The Warrens tell the nurses that the spirit only used Annabelle as a conduit. It really wanted to be inside of them. So they
buddy.
They placed their doll.
That ghost ain't the only one, brother.
Hey.
They placed the doll in their room of novelties behind plate glass. And if we remember The Mist, we know what happens to plate glass.
I do not remember The Mist at all.
I remember what happens to plate glass. My man fucking kills his son through it.
All these fake ass CGI monsters come at you, and you got to pretend like they're there.
My fucking monsters look great, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Look, Joey, there's one beside me.
The CG in this movie was like shit. The CG in fucking The Mist looks awesome. The CG in this movie looks like somebody threw up on the fucking screen.
It's going to be a fun show. Ollie tells Thomas Jane in The Mist that the entire front of the store is solid plate glass.
And it lasts all of what, one night? Plate glass fucking sucks.
I will say before we get too far from the intro here, this really does have a genuinely cool title and font. Fuck, we have to shout that out.
They're very Exorcist.
Yeah, but the Conjuring.
Very like
that's
Omen. Very Omen.
It's just a good fucking title,
yeah.
you know. We don't get a lot of those.
Yeah, it's great.
We don't get a lot of those like post 2000.
Like if there's a movie that tells you what the fuck's about to happen, it's The Conjuring.
In the present day, the Warrens are giving a lecture on the Annabelle case, and James Wan gives us a little backstory about the self-proclaimed demonologists. We then meet the family that this film will begin to attract. The parents, as they move into a brand new house to them on the Rhode Island countryside.
Why do they choose this old-ass house to move into?
Because he's a truck driver. Truck drivers love land. And he's got kids, a family. Put him out in the country, man. He got those clear night skies. It's like a redneck's dream.
All right, it's one man that we meet in the family right here. It's one man and 6 women.
It's a lot of women
in this house. You know what's going to be hell in that plumbing.
You saying they take a lot of shits?
Be running water. Not a lot of shits. Be running water. Don't turn the fucking water off. Then they take shits. They use 45 pounds of toilet paper.
Clogging the drains.
Well, this is the 70s when women
This
did what
man's
they
a
were
truck
told.
driver. He ain't home but 2 days a fucking week.
This is a bit of a left turn here.
These kids are gonna do what they're told. This is the 70s, dog.
These kids gonna tear shit up.
Back when
and
kids was better.
He's gonna come home from driving all goddamn week. Gonna be shit water everywhere.
He's got to take a shit. He's got to go shit in the lake or whatever they got out there.
The hanging tree they got down there is gonna have a massive roll of toilet paper on the end of it. They can all just shit in the lake.
This might be a surprise to our audience, but Joey does not have children. So, moving right along.
I have a nephew that I love very, very
He's so
much.
good with kids. It's ridiculous.
Kids love me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really like them all that much.
Sure.
Joey's like, why? Why do you like me so much? The parents Roger Perrin, played by Ron Livingston, who was in Office Space and the fucking best HBO show, Band of Brothers.
Dude, that's fucking Nick's from Band of Brothers, man.
That's not the best HBO show. Come on, y'all get the fuck out of here with
It's so
Nah. Band of Brothers, man.
that. It ain't The Sopranos, dog.
Every Memorial weekend, gotta watch Band of Brothers, man.
What a patriot.
Veterans Day, Band of Brothers. He was also Roy from Boardwalk Empire.
I forgot he was in Boardwalk.
Yeah, he was in Boardwalk.
That's Peter from Office Space, buddy.
Yeah, that's really like everybody's gonna know him as Peter.
Damn,
from
it
Office
feels
Space.
good to be a gangster. Just beating the shit out of the printer.
So Ron Livingston actually attended Yale University with Edward Norton and Paul Giamatti. I thought that was a weird fact about him.
I feel like Paul Giamatti is 20 years older than both of them.
That's what I thought as well.
Imagine being Paul Giamatti, looking like that, and going to like a bar after you get done with class. He said, Paul, if it was raining pussies, you'd catch a dick, brother.
And Carolyn Perrin is played by Lily Taylor, who was in Born on the 4th of July and Rudy, which dates her by a lot.
You know, when you talk about actresses who have all the talent in the world, but they have the face of Rhea Perlman. This is a fucking prime example. Definitely has what I like to call Buscemi syndrome.
Oh, man, don't bring Steve into this.
Yeah, looks a certain way, but, super talented actress.
Steve's incredibly good actor. She always, if I see her face, I go to a drive-in movie theater for 1999's The Haunting. Which has got to be exactly why she got cast in this movie, right?
Dude, Liam Neeson. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, she dips beneath lasers. Oh.
Owen Wilson with the nose. Probably a dog shit movie. Haven't seen it since that day, but I do remember all the people in it.
The late 90s was not good to horror in general.
There's a lot of bad remakes. Like now, they do like the remake, like Evil Dead, where they try to make it like more fierce or this or that. But back then, it was just like they were making it for MTV crowds or something.
Are you referring to House on Haunted Hill with Taye Diggs?
Oh, yeah, same vein. House and Wax, same shit.
Say Merry Christmas, Ghost.
I think it was Trick or Treat, motherfucker, that kind of put an end to the whole the MTV crowd.
All right, fuck that. We're not going to be covering Halloween H2O. Or
Resurrection, dog.
We're not going to be covering this movie for another 8 years.
20 years, yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about this. This isn't a Michael Myers movie with Busta Rhymes in it. This is a Busta Rhymes movie with Michael Myers.
This is a Busta Rhymes music video featuring Michael Myers.
All right, you need to go back and rewatch that movie. Busta Rhymes does exactly what he does. He is expected to do when he was cast.
Busta is cool, man.
He makes that movie.
Yeah, too bad he wasn't in Halloween Kills. That fucking garbage.
Ready to back us. We're doing the Conjuring. The parents unload their moving truck with their 5 daughters. Here we go. Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, plus their dog Sadie. I say all the children's names because I'm never going to say them again. I'm going to refer to them as girls.
That kid.
If there's one actress out of this bunch to actually talk about, it's going to be Joey King.
Yeah, that face I remember.
Christine. Very recognizable face. If you guys saw Bullet Train, she was Prince in Bullet Train. It was enjoyable. She was in Quarantine. And she also plays the lead role in the Hulu original, The Act, with Patricia Arquette. It's really, really, really fucking good.
Later that evening, the girls are playing a little game of one gets blindfolded while the others clap. Did you guys play this game as kids?
It's called hide and clap, not whatever fucking shit you just called it.
Later on, she says to the mom specifically, you want to play hide and clap. I wrote down, is she saying hide the clap? I feel like that's what half the girlfriends in high school are playing.
I mean, we were poor. We ate Spam and shit. We didn't play clapping games.
Hide the clap, dog.
Dude, hide the clap in a fucking trailer would have been terrible.
That's pretty bad.
It's so fucking easy.
Through the game, a boarded up fruit cellar is discovered, of course, and Sweet Daddy Roger investigates with nothing more than a match.
How do they get this house and not know they have a cellar?
Yeah, that's one of those hard to believe things here.
Probably the same way they didn't know fucking 20 people died in it.
I mean, the house has a furnace. The furnace has got to be fucking somewhere.
I think they bought this shit over the phone, dog. I don't think they ever saw this property.
Was the phone invented back then? This is the fucking early 70s.
They bought this shit via telegram.
They bought this shit by carrier pigeon.
I do have a pet peeve when people call someone whose name is Roger, they call him fucking Raj. That always fucking bothers me. I do not
It's
know
a weird
why.
pet peeve.
Did she call him Raj in this
Yes,
movie?
because I had subtitles on. She's looking down the basement. She says, Raj. I was like, God
All right.
damn it.
That immediately drops my letter grade, like one letter.
The next morning, Raj, just for you, Chris, begins to clean up the fruit cellar, and Carolyn realizes that all the clocks are stopped at exactly 3:07 a.m., and one of the kids finds Sadie dead in the yard.
Damn, that's so sad, man. Sadie was a collie. Collies are like such beautiful fucking dogs.
Oh, the dog. We're talking about the dog now.
What the fuck?
What were you talking about?
Usually that's a big deal with these kind of movies when the fucking pet dies. In this movie, it's not. They
Exactly.
literally talk about it for fucking 2 minutes, and hey, we're done. We're on to the next one. Pizza party.
It's a dog, man. They're gonna bury it.
Pizza
What are
party.
they supposed to do?
All right, okay.
Are you gonna
okay.
leave?
You talk about you talking
selling
shit
my
about me
house.
not having a. You talking shit about me not having a kid. Guarantee you, a lot of people, if their dog would die,
It's like
they would
losing a
consider
kid.
that like a fucking kid dying.
It's not. I'm sorry.
telling you.
I hate to
You don't
break
have
it
a
to you.
dog. You don't have a dog in this. You don't have a dog in this fight.
It's not.
I have
okay.
2 dogs.
It's supposed
in
to
this
be a
fight.
horse in this race.
It's
But
a
dog in
dog.
this fight.
What if Raj went out there and said, "Wrong fucking kid died"? Since a dog is one of the kids, apparently.
He takes and grabs Cindy. I think it's Cindy. I think this is Cindy or April. Grabs April by the shoulders. I wish it was you.
You little bitch. I feel like Raj was way too fucking nice of a dad.
Dude, Ron Livingston kind of got shit on in this movie.
Later that night, at the parents' house, the clock has struck 3:07 a.m. yet again, and the fun has begun with one of the daughters banging her head against a wardrobe.
So what the hell y'all doing at 3:07 in the morning?
I am knocked out. Don't touch me.
I was asleep every day for the past maybe month at 3:07
What?
till like
So you watched this movie?
until fucking Tuesday.
Oh,
You motherfuckers fucked me up big time.
I think you playing video games fucked you up.
I started drinking. Yeah, it was the video games. I didn't see.
I took an edible because I thought I was going to record in 8 hours.
I started drinking my fucking Monster Energy drink
plug.
at like 8:45,
I
and then I
text y'all
checked
at like
the
7.
messages. I know you did. Then I checked the messages on Discord, and all of a sudden I see, yeah, I got something going on. Blah blah blah. Blah. So my ass is wired at 3:00 in the morning, eyes wide, fucking open, can't sleep for shit.
Here, shit in the fruit
Thanks
cellar.
to you.
Did your clock stop?
Oh shit. No, it kept going.
The reason I'm asking is I don't think I've ever really been awake at this time, like consciously. So I wonder if shit gets weird at this time. Why this time specifically?
When I work retail, I would have to go in at this time.
Oh, that's
Nothing fucking happened.
disgusting.
Well, the whole thing about 3:07, 3:00 in the morning, 3 a.m. is generally considered or
A Matchbox 20 song. Yeah,
The witching hour,
number
right?
one.
It's 3 a.m. and I must be home now.
It's that song about like she wants to go fuck, but she has to deal with
She
her
has
kids.
cancer.
No, I
in
think
the
his
song,
mama had
Chris.
cancer or some
Good
shit.
Lord.
She's like, it's been raining, mama.
I thought she wanted to like go to the club, but she's stuck with this like having to watch this little bastard, and that's why she's upset.
He wrote that.
Yeah, she
with
wants
his
to go to the
childhood.
club, but she's stuck with cancer.
I'm talking about the lyrics, man. I know. Okay, I'm out.
But yeah, 3:00 is, like Chris said, considered the witching hour by a lot of people who give credence to that stuff.
Witches?
It's the time during the day, I guess, or night at this point, in which like witches, demons, poltergeists, apparitions, all that shit have like their most power.
That's when shit gets weird. But Hootie sounds like
Yeah.
it's been awake at this hour more than either one of us. So I
Probably.
don't know if you've ever seen anything weird happen. At
Yeah, he's
3
out here kayaking at 3 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, kayaking in the fucking
That's when the
darkness.
otters get out and fucking gangbang in the pentagram.
That's the only time to stay away from the otters. They're asleep too.
Say, what the fuck's he doing here?
Beavers out there slapping their fucking tail in the water and shit. Hootie's looking around.
I mean, I could see it being, if you believe in this stuff, 3 a.m. being awake, it's so quiet everywhere, you know, because nobody's awake. So maybe that's why.
Like I've woken up at like 5 and felt refreshed before, but anytime I've ever felt like I'm awake at 3, it's like a scary time to be awake, you know.
That's a big theme with James Wan films, is 3 a.m. It's like, it's all in all of his damn movies.
Maybe he loves Matchbox 20. Shout out.
And maybe he does. The following morning, Carolyn is playing the clapping game with her youngest daughter.
Hide the clap.
The spirit of the house leads her to the same wardrobe without the daughter inside. Later that night, Carolyn is observing the bruises she has acquired since moving into the house and hears a noise coming from inside of her home. Carolyn goes to investigate, and the noise leads her into the damn fruit cellar, where the spirit locks the door behind her and plays, you guessed it, a game of fucking clap.
So I think this scene right here is one of those scenes that was ruined by the trailer.
The hands physically
Like,
coming out.
Yeah, from behind her when she's in the dark at the top of the stairs. I think it's actually considered like one of the better like jump scares in these type of movies. Like this actual scene itself.
It does zoom in.
Yeah, the frame is very memorable. I remembered it during the rewatch before it happened.
It might be the only thing I remembered about this movie before we rewatched it.
How did you feel about the hands coming out of the dresser while her eyes were closed?
Fucking creepy.
But, I mean, it was a cool effect, but I always feel like if the character doesn't see it, why did I see it and the character didn't, I guess?
Well, it's because it's supposed to be creepy for you, not the character. The character's playing an
Exactly.
innocent game with their child.
You're trying to fuck with me, not the characters.
It's
you know?
well, yeah, it's about what I know. Like she thinks it's all innocent and her child's in there.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But
I don't
the
think I saw
audience
this.
knows better.
I don't think I saw this. There was hands that came out of a dresser.
Yeah, they came out of the dresser when
that's
she was in the room.
that's where the clap took place. Did you watch the movie with your eyes open? Was you wearing a blindfold?
Hootie had too
I
much
was
damn
typing.
pizza.
I was typing and watching, so maybe I was typing when it happened. I'm not sure, but yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you saw hands physically come out of the clothes rack and, like, clap.
Carolyn goes to observe a lecture in Massachusetts given by the Warrens, and they show an exorcism video about a guy who ended up killing himself. Neat stuff.
Have we talked about Ed and Lorraine possibly being charlatans?
I think it's, like, common knowledge at this point that they were kind of...
Full of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all the Amityville horror, like everything that came out of that, kind of ruined their image. And if it weren't for this movie, it probably would still be considered dog shit. But the problem is, these two actors are very charismatic and very attractive. They're very cool people. They definitely elevate these people higher than they
you
probably
say
should
that
be.
Ed and Lorraine, the actual like people themselves, were super charismatic as well. They were integral in this movie, like how it was made.
Like
I
being
think they
on
actually
set?
brought this to the studio.
So they wanted to make this into a movie?
Oh yes,
That's
yes.
a fucking
Oh,
red
yes.
flag of bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. They're definitely like some fraud. I wouldn't say frauds. I don't know enough about paranormal activity or whatever. But whatever.
They're both dead now.
They're
so
good
it's fine.
actors, is that what you're saying?
The estate is doing very, very, very well right now.
But again, like I was saying, if it weren't for these two actors, if you cast the two wrong people in this, I would probably hate these fucking characters.
Oh, they nailed this. The chemistry between Patrick and Vera is like real. There's a reason these two characters or these two actors reprise these roles throughout the next 4 movies.
Yeah, the second one I genuinely remember disliking in theaters, but their moments in the movie were all fucking great.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
When the Warrens show students footage of an exorcism in the auditorium, the priest was played by George T. Zervas. He is the chair of the Philosophy and Religion Department of the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Carolyn convinces the couple to come check out the parent estate, and they meet the entire family, to which Lorraine is acting real weird. The Warrens begin to investigate. Lorraine sees a little boy through a music box, and then a woman hanging from a tree by the water.
The music box is pretty fucking cool. That shit kicks.
It's so creepy, man.
It's a cool prop.
It's a fantastic prop. Like it's one of those things. I guess to the audience, it's super creepy. But let's say your kid had that in the 50s or something. Yeah, that'd be some shit you would just see and like wouldn't even pay attention to.
The Warrens inform the family that they need to perform an exorcism on the house itself because a demonic spirit has attached itself to the family.
Have we talked about all the ways in which they were haunted so far? I know you discussed the clapping game. What about like when the little girls were being like pulled from the bed and shit like that,
Foot
and
grabbing.
it smelled like sulfur and all this?
I
other
skipped
stuff.
over all
We had
that.
that figure in the corner behind the door, too.
That scene right there. All right, James Wan and his cinematography.
Here we
God
go.
damn. The
There you
under
go.
the bed shots like transition is clean as fuck.
Yeah, the camera rotation
it
over the
looks
bed.
it's so good.
Yeah,
I
very
had to make a
stylish.
note about it.
The
Yeah,
movie uses
very,
the
very
dark.
stylish.
The dark is very well used in this movie for any faults it does have. The darkness. I've never seen darkness used as effectively as it is in this.
Yeah. For there not to be an actual physical boogeyman at this point, the way he plays with the shadows and stuff, it's fantastic.
It plays very well in a movie theater.
Yeah, the reason I bring all this up, when I was a kid, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you did, Chris. If you had your foot over the edge of the bed,
Oh yeah.
out from under the covers, you were
Terrifying.
a fucking dead man.
Well, I was always a leg over the cover guy. I still am.
No, if I do that, I'm sleeping with a shotgun, brother.
Jesus.
If I got any part of me, if my dick is up under the cover, I got a goddamn switchblade right next to me. I'm ready to go.
You keep your whole body under the cover, like neck down.
Oh, by the end of the night, sure, I'm out from under the cover. But if I am aware that my shit is out from under the cover, I got to put it under something.
For a little
I'm right here
breeze.
with Joy.
Got to.
To this day.
I once upon a time had a weighted blanket to keep myself from getting out from under the cover while I slept.
Wouldn't that make it harder for you to get out if something grabbed your ass?
No, if I'm
50-pound
covered up,
blanket.
no. That's the whole thing. If I'm covered up, nothing's gonna grab me. I'm fine, totally fine.
They got to pick it up. Did you get to Joy?
Oh, I remember like back in the day when you got scared, you go under the covers, you're safe.
Lorraine discovers that the original owner, Bathsheba, believed in witchcraft.
Did you? All right. Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you again. I know we've derailed this several times. Did you type Bethesda?
I did.
Autocorrect
Idiot
got his
shit.
ass.
And autocorrect changed, or you tried to type baby barista, whatever it is.
Baby
I'm trying to go with.
barista.
And it fucking autocorrected to Bethesda, right?
Yeah, because it's not marked
God,
red.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Bathsheba. I don't have a misspelling marked on my notes here. Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. I don't care.
And my note here
Sorry.
is never marry a bitch named Bathsheba. It's just
No
one of
shit
those.
for me,
It's
for
just
sure.
one of those names. No,
I won't
we're
let a
out.
damn bitch from Bathsheba make my damn fried chicken at KFC.
Like your wedding koozie. Join us for Joey and Bathsheba's wedding.
For a play here, my brother, last time I was in town, got the fried livers from your KFC. Said they're pretty good.
Yikes.
Chicken livers.
They're very irony. They have an iron taste, very
you
metallic
ordered that
taste.
shit?
No. I mean that's what like liver is. It's like it's very rich in iron.
Some Hannibal shit right there.
Well, this lady believed in witchcraft. She sacrificed her baby in the backyard and then hung herself before proclaiming that she will haunt her land forever. The following day, the Warrens bring all the equipment that the 70s could provide to the house and embark on a real paranormal investigation. That night, the Warrens go into the fruit cellar with their ghost hunter devices to only find the door slammed on their way back. So, which is like he just keeps toying with us with his stuff. So that got kind of old to me.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of those haunted house effects in here. Which, again, he's paying homage to like the original Haunting and all this other shit that's came for the last 40 years, but never done kind of with this level of production value and style, as Joey likes to bemoan.
You know, that fucking door slamming. I'm like, I wish it would have fucking hit. I wish it would have hit somebody, dude. I got this whole thing I was going to go through. It's the entity off the top rope. By God, that specter beating the Jezebel Andrea like a government mule. God damn God almighty.
He's putting a mud hole in his ass.
Fucking Jim Ross.
I did have a note here about Drew. He's the young filmmaker kind of guy. They get to set up all their cameras and shit. His Volkswagen van, I think, was fucking sick, dude.
It was a
Yeah,
nice van.
Volkswagen's fans are dope, man.
The next day, Bathsheba shows up to vomit down Carolyn's throat, and Ed decides to fix the family's old beater and tells Raj how fucked up Lorraine is now. That was a weird stream of events.
He just does it in such like a sweet, charismatic way, though. It's just fucking. It's hard to. It's like, oh, he's so in love with his wife. I'll never ask her what she saw.
Did we talk about how Lorraine, they established Lorraine's clairvoyancy a little bit earlier when she's hanging photos with
Right, yeah, she sees the beach scene, I think, when she touches her arm.
it shows she has like the power of insight, and she talks about how she peeked behind the curtain and was able to see this like joyful sort of memory.
The best day of her life.
Lorraine's lucky her insight didn't peek behind the curtain to that time Carolyn was getting Eiffel Towered by a couple of Delta Phi boys back at Brown University.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, they had 5 kids. There's a lot to look back on.
You thought she had bruises now. You should have seen her back in fucking college, dog. They beat the fuck out of that thing.
Later that night, the police officer sees a maid that slit her wrists, and then Ed investigates the wardrobe again.
So this same cop, did you catch the scene where he exits the toilet and throws the hand towel back into the fucking bathroom? What kind of move is that? Who does that?
That was very bizarre, yeah.
If I take a shit at your house, I'm not going to wash my hands, walk out of the bathroom, and then sling it back in there like I'm a fucking MLB pitcher.
I would take it. All right, I would take a shit at somebody's house, and instead of pulling the toilet paper off to wipe my ass, I would wipe my ass with the toilet paper, the actual roll, and just fucking sling it over my shoulder.
And throw it at one of the kids or some shit? Like, this dude.
Hey, catch.
If you're shitting at a stranger's house, you're going to be as quiet as possible.
Ed finds the daughter taking a snooze inside the wall behind the wardrobe. Lorraine then finds a noose inside the very same wall and falls through the floor all the way to the fruit cellar unharmed.
Another awesome shot by Juan right here. The whole falling through the floor, how it's filmed.
Yeah, she would have been pretty fucked up when she hit that ground, though.
Yes, she would have.
Well, she laid on the ground making noises and shit for a little while. I mean,
Then she was fine.
Notes that she was fucked up.
Then she said, I'm fine.
In the fruit cellar, Lorraine gets to meet everyone who has died in the house, including the OG Bathsheba. The family decides to take a night off, and they move into a local motel while the Warrens find a good old Catholic priest who agrees to help.
All right, I got kind of a sick joke right here.
Oh, God, here we go. Well,
you guess what it's about.
Of course, the Catholic priest is going to push it through, talking about the exorcism when he hears there's 5 kids involved.
You said 5 kids? Okay, I'll get that done tonight.
You said it.
It's a high priority. Bump this right.
5 kids and you have high definition video equipment? No, we'll get that done tonight.
God.
I had a question about the sleepwalking. Have you guys ever sleptwalked?
Fuck no.
Do you know anybody that ever has? It's just a fascinating phenomenon I want to know more about.
I mean, I didn't. Is it real?
I don't know.
If anybody out there knows somebody or has sleptwalked in their life, horriblefilmschool@gmail.com. We would love to hear about it.
I need to be convinced of the science.
Yeah, contact me personally on my OnlyFans account.
Before the priest can arrive, Carolyn is trying to kill one of her kids in the fruit cellar. And when everyone tries to take her out of the house, Bathsheba burns that skin baby.
This is, I appreciate that we get a physical, manifestation of the enemy here. But the timing of this, as he's walking in, he's holding, the husband's holding her arm back and shit. It's just way too convenient, man. He walked in at the moment she was about to fucking lower her arm. I was like, okay, whatever.
How the fuck?
The day.
All right, that's very convenient. Well, that's convenient. What's very fucking convenient is the fact that Ed and Lorraine are able to drive back so fast and arrive almost at the same exact time.
Same time, brother. That's what I'm saying. This part gets a little sloppy for me.
They tie Carolyn up in the fruit cellar and realize that Ed has to perform the exorcism himself. He sports a cross necklace because, that's all you need to do one of these, apparently.
Pretty much ordained at that point.
Ed is able to make Bathsheba reveal herself through Carolyn, and then she levitates in order to break the chair apart.
This whole sequence right here, she's great, being possessed.
Yeah, Richie studied some Linda Blair to kind of get this performance.
Yeah, she's fantastic here.
Kind of took me back to Blood Monday with old Gerald Creed. Yeah, it was pretty close.
Cut it, dog.
I'm
fucking bleeding out over here, dog.
Why the fuck is Rocky in this movie? I want to wonder, though, just one time, one off. You never have to tell anybody. No one's ever going to know. How good do you think Bathsheba would be in bed?
Oh, Bathsheba would be the throat goat, bro.
She'd tear that thing
out. I don't think she would have a gag reflex.
I mean, she doesn't have a physical body. That's what I'm saying. She could do anything.
You could stick a fucking broom handle down this bitch's
She
throat.
could plug you and do everything else to you at the same time.
Plug me? With what? She got a fucking USB in her pocket? She ain't plugging me with
I'm
nothing.
saying, this lady's wild. If you could get your other half possessed by anybody, make it a Bathsheba, because she's going to take care of you.
Making a Bath Sheba.
She gonna ride that thing
Bathsheba,
off to the sunset.
Bathsheba better take a fucking bath before she finds it on me.
She might even choke you out, Joe.
She needs to fucking get some conditioner for that goddamn fucking straw haircut she got.
Carolyn runs after her daughter again in order to kill her, but the Warrens save the day, as they somehow always conveniently do. They finish the exorcism and bring Carolyn back to life. Everybody is alive, and that's the end of the film.
Wait. The cop has like a bloody cheek, though. That's something.
Yeah. She fucking... Carolyn manages to take a goddamn bite out of Brad's cheek. Boy, bites the shit out of him. I love how you say that Ed and Lorraine saved the day. In the actual story, the one that actually took place, they were told to leave by the Perron family because them being there didn't help and actually made the hauntings worse.
You're pissing off the ghosts.
So they were fucking ran out.
Quit fucking around.
By Carolyn and Rob.
Realize they were full of shit, maybe?
There's some of the scrolling like intro prologue bullshit earlier that actually says, it's like a little factoid, that Ed is like the only demonologist recognized by the Vatican that isn't an ordained priest or whatever. I wonder if that's like legit, or if that's just like, you know, some meaty little
Or
fib.
just like Toby Hooper at the beginning of Texas Chainsaw, just throwing it on there because you can't fucking stop me from printing.
Catholicism is a pretty tightly ruled religion. I don't think that would be.
I mean, if it is, hey, that's kind of fucking dope. I tried to watch an Ed and Lorraine documentary on YouTube. It was 53 minutes long. I got 3 minutes into it. They started talking about the little boy was seeing ghosts and talking to his dead aunt. I turned it off. I can't watch it. It's
You eating
fucking
pizza and you
lame
passed
as
out.
shit.
I understand.
You can watch it.
I jacked off and passed out. Not because I was turned on.
It was
by
too
that
real.
movie or that.
Seeing ghosts, you say.
I was like, all right, fuck this. I can't put up with this.
And we did have the title card here at the end, or kind of the quote that said, "There's a guy and the devil. We all have to choose one."
God, I love that quote. You'll be hearing that quote earlier in the movie or in the review.
Can't you just not do either? Isn't that also an option that's not listed there?
Wait a minute.
Hey, you fucking fence-sitting asshole.
Not choosing is a choice as well.
That's going to be the people that are sent to purgatory, which you're literally in limbo.
And we do kind of get like another allusion to the room, this like sacred room of all these haunted objects that they have. I want to see a movie about the fucking haunted samurai. That looked like it'd be fucking badass. The little samurai suit in there. What's the most abstract thing you think they got haunted in that room? There's got to be a drawer full of dildos.
If a ghost wants to get inside somebody, ain't many things better than a fucking dildo.
Exactly. Annabelle should have went in the dildo. She would have been all up in them nurses.
That would have been a different movie.
The Warrens' room of bullshit, it comes off as very Scooby-Doo like.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a haunted trail or something. You know, it's very Hollywood.
In real life, they actually have the Ed and Lorraine Warren like museum. This is actually like a museum you can pay to go into, I think. So this is a real thing.
So they bought us a doll, and this is Annabelle now, and put her in a plate glass and pay $10.
But no, they've done thousands of cases. Like they're very prestigious. They're like
they're undefeated.
They're fucking dead now, so.
Go-to source for bullshit.
All right, fellas, we're wrapping up The Conjuring 2013. What piece of memorabilia would you like to hold in your house from this film?
We're all going to take something from the Warren's house. The samurai armor Chris talked about, we see in the haunted artifacts room. I can finally achieve what I've always wanted to, and that is to cosplay as my boy Chris Farley in Beverly Hills Ninja. Let's go.
For me, I'm going to keep it plain, keep it simple. It's that music box. It's the most iconic piece of the movie for me, other than the fucking tree that I can't pick up. So give me that cool little music box. I won't even bother doing a touch-up on the paint. Just play with it and watch all the dead kids hovering over my shoulder.
A part of me wanted to pick the music box. However, I'm going to skip that and take a piece of something I can actually use around the house. This is pretty cool. Let me get that motion capture device that doesn't recognize human movement, but only spirit-based movement. All right, fellas, let's bring this bad boy home. What did you think of The Conjuring?
I'm going to try and take my bias out of this personal review for the most part and just be real. Just because I'm not the biggest fan of paranormal haunted house horror movies, it doesn't change the fact that The Conjuring is a good movie. Firstly, James Wan, he knows what he's doing behind the camera. His cinematography is some of the best in horror. In particular, like I said earlier, the scenes of Lorraine falling into the cellar, the under the bed transition, the sequence where they're placing the cameras throughout the house, the way it's just filmed, they're just beautifully shot. James Wan is also great at building tension and suspense, playing on your emotions and expectations with what would otherwise be genre-generic moments throughout the film. The acting is on the better side throughout as well, from top to bottom, although they did my boy Ron Livingston dirty by never allowing his character to develop, and it kind of comes off as a wasted character. It's enjoyable getting to know the Perrin family alongside discovering the dynamics of Ed and Lorraine's relationship and seeing their skepticisms and motivations. It makes them much more endearing in my mind. The movie admittedly is slow-paced to start, but really ramps up in the third act, commonplace for these type of horrors, which leads me to the problem with The Conjuring. There's not much here we haven't seen before. Poltergeist, Amityville Horror, The Exorcist. Even as well shot and enjoyable as the movie is, nothing really makes this movie memorable in my book. It sticks to the tried and true formula we've seen time and time again. It doesn't set out to reinvent the wheel or really add anything impactful. It just exists to be scary and to show the viewer a good time. And it does that, accomplishes that. It's almost like chewing gum. You pop it into your mouth, it's juicy, it's flavorful, but it's only temporary. It loses its flavor, so you can spit it out and move on. Another gripe I have, which I've said before, and it's just something that bugs me, the whole jump scare thing is so fucking lame. I get it. I get that it's integral to the haunted house horror film experience, but it still cheapens the fear factor these movies are supposed to incite. These jump scares are well done. They all have meaning, and they aren't random. They're timed appropriately, but in the end, they are what they are, cheap tricks and easy thrills. It was a good time revisiting The Conjuring 10 years later, but much like back then, it's not a time that I'll remember years, months, or even weeks from now. 2013's The Conjuring grades out at a B.
This was a bit of a tricky assignment for me. I held this movie in like a pretty high regard, but I'd only seen it the one time, and that was the theatrical experience we kind of alluded to now. Opening weekend, packed crowd. It was a big deal at the time. And there's nothing like that opening weekend. Especially, like I was saying earlier, the way that the darkness is used in this movie, the scares just really work in a theatrical setting. It's hard to replicate that watching it at home, regardless of how good your setup is. And that lack of surprise, kind of knowing when everything's coming, did take a little bit something off of the movie for me. But the aesthetic is still great. Production value to this level and acting to this level is incredibly rare in the genre. We need movies like this to keep those smaller movies afloat, the ones that we truly love for our own unique tastes. This is not Wan's masterwork, but it is also not a bad movie. It is a worthwhile watch, if only once. That just keeps on feeding. Would it be 8 sequels into this series at this point? So, all in all, a bit of a downgrade from where I was 10 years ago, but this is still a solid B for Mr. Jimmy Wan.
2013's The Conjuring is a bizarre horror movie for me because it lacks elements that I believe to be integral to the genre. Blood and death. No one dies or bleeds in this film besides the one cop at the end. And that's okay if it's truly the, quote, true story that the Warrens claim that it is, but it left me wanting more. The film is extremely well acted and directed, with huge shout-outs to James Wan and his universe structure over the years. I just wish that he would have come up with his own demonologist and not hitched his wagon to the snake oil salesman that is the Warrens. After rewatching this film with fresh eyes, over a decade after this film came out, that fateful night we watched it on opening night, I give this film a C+.
Well, that's that, boys. Wraps up The Conjuring. It's time to... What's the opposite of a conjure? I don't even know. Let's unconjure our minds.
Conjure, the opposite of conjure would be to unsummon?
We're going to wrap this bad boy up and review their fan score guesses. This was a random assignment as we had botched the guesses from The Wicker Man. I'll recap our scores here. Starting with the low man, Mr. Joseph said a 7070. I said 85. Hootie said a motherfucking 92. The actual audience score was an 83.
God.
Those are the cannons. Those are the fucking 4th of July fireworks.
Let's watch thescienceofhorror.com.
For their next film, my choice. Did a little bit of debating here. We got the 4th of July holiday coming up. I was trying to kind of be all-American. Of course, it's a big holiday for us here in the States.
Fucking Independence Day. Here we go.
Uncle Sam, here we go.
I agree. Do some Googling, trying to find things set around this time. I had some things that come up that were just too good. Looking at you, Jaws, that we just really couldn't get into. Decided to reel it back a step. And for this 4th of July, to get our summer rolling, we're going to be watching I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997.
Ooh-wee. Jennifer Huge Tits, let's go.
It's funny because this did not come to mind when I was thinking of summer horror movies. It's right there in the fucking title.
I can't wait to see Freddie Prinze Jr. try to fucking act.
Alrighty, folks, if you want to join us, we're going to hop on YouTube and watch the original trailer from 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer. Let's go.
So the boy and girl are making out, right? When they hear over the radio that this
Damn, I haven't seen that logo in a long time.
That's not the way it goes. The boy goes for
Oh,
help,
dude,
the girl
Ryan
stays in the
Phillips.
car, and she hears this
Oh, Ryan
Felipe.
Phillips.
scratching
Oh,
sound.
No,
Phillips.
he's been decapitated. No, he was gutted with a hook.
Jesus, look at her.
Man, she was
Let's
so
see.
hot.
I'm fucking dead.
Corny as
Where the fuck did all the blood come from? Did they have knives on the front of the car?
Charged for manslaughter. Make a pact.
This makes me want to watch Cruel Intentions.
God, this guy's so cool.
Are you on drugs? No. Well, then what is wrong?
But this summer,
Bro,
Are
is
you on
this a
drugs?
comedy?
No. What's wrong? I'm not on drugs. That's what's wrong.
He sent this to me.
all the notes. I remember that.
Perfect fucking handwriting.
I know what you did last summer. Ooh.
What they thought would be a new beginning,
I saw this in theaters with my mother.
Was this a comedy?
a dead end,
Somebody tried to kill you last night. We have to go to the police.
God, she is so fun. Oh.
and the mistake they made.
It was an
Isn't that
accident.
fucking kid from Roseanne in here too?
What if he's still alive?
David.
Yeah.
Is coming back.
Yeah, David's in this.
What's up with all this slow motion shit?
Got a letter. I got run over. Helen gets her hair chopped off. Julie gets a body in a truck, and you get a letter? That's balanced.
He's waiting for us to unravel.
Yeah.
Damn, fuck!
What are you waiting for?
Oh, yeah. God damn, here he is. Spin around. Oh.
Spin around. Look at all
What the fuck is with this trailer, dude?
Push.
Damn, this shit's fucking thumping, dude. Half of the fucking squad goes on to do Scooby-Doo.
I know what you did last summer.
There's a lot of people in that
Movie
movie
theater
that
voice
died that didn't have anything to do with the initial murder.
It's
Right?
Man. I saw Anne Hesh, R.I.P.
Yeah, and Hesh is in that.
All right, boys, my gifts to you for your 4th of July. We'll be revisiting a classic. I probably haven't seen it since about 98 myself. Go ahead and take your guesses here for 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I'm going to go with a Fat Cock 46.
I want to go with the Thomas Jane 61.
City 1, I like that.
He was in 61.
He was.
With
was
Billy
Mickey.
Pepper?
He was Mickey Mantle, right? Barry Pepper.
He was there with Billy Pepper,
Who the
right?
fuck is Billy Pepper? Barry Pepper?
What was his name? Billy Pepper?
Alrighty, folks. Thank you for listening. Check out the website, horriblefilmschool.com, to find links to all the podcast platforms and the socials. Give us a follow. Leave a review. Send us some mutton chop stencils. I'm going to say goodbye and offer my support to women crawling through the walls of their newly minted homes.
As always, folks, if you're hearing our voices, tell at least one person you know. Spread that love. Spread that campaign. I'm going to go find an ice hook, put on a rain jacket, and go back to 1990, whatever this movie came out at.
Thanks for all the likes, the subs, the listens, the follows, the downloads. We really appreciate you guys and gals' support as well as your time and attention. And be sure to join us next time when we get hooked on 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer. Class dismissed.